What does back to school mean to Rastafarian learners? Would government allow the establishment of Rastafarian schools? Are the rights of the Rastafarian community adequately protected? What is the Rastafarian United Front's position on the medical innovation bill? What time is it? It's question time. Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Mpo Tsedu. With the 2017 academic year set to officially commence tomorrow, the challenges faced by the Rastafarian learners in the country's education and legal system remains a bone of contention. Several schools across the country continue to deny learners with dreadlocks access to education. This continues to infuriate the Rastafarian community in general and the parents of affected learners in particular. For its part, the Basic Education Department says in terms of the South African Schools Act, governing bodies may decide on dress codes, including hairstyles, as part of their code of conduct. Meanwhile, the use of marijuana for medicinal purposes is expected to be legalized in the first half of this year. This after the Medicines Control Council briefed Parliament on the proposed medical innovation bill late last year. We are live and therefore you can call us and air your views on the following numbers: 089-1104-210, or you can tweet us your comments, the Twitter handle @QuestionTime24. My guest, Tau Haramanuba. He is the chairman at Rastafarian United Front, and joining us from our Pretoria studio is Enoch Rabutapi. He is the acting chief director of education resource development at the Department of Basic Education. Let me welcome you. Rastau, greetings in the name of His Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I.
Greetings in the name of His Majesty Brother Mpo, Rasimpo.
Yeah. Well, we've seen you, on several occasions, reciting prayers. The last time was on Sunday at the ANC January 8. Somehow, the fact that the African National Congress included you in their program for such an important event then says, indeed, you are part of the mainstream religion. Do you consider yourself as such? Are you recognized as a religion in South Africa?
Yes, in South Africa, we are recognized as one of the constitutionally recognized religions. Mm-hmm. That is why we form part of the interfaith prayers, as you say, also as an FNB. This is basically the fourth time the ANC invited me to go and pray in a stadium. First time was Peter Mugaba in Polokwane, Regina Mundi Church, Moses Mabida last year, and this year. So, and in those prayers, we try to air, because the only platform that we can really engage with power, we try to air our concern, like the plight of the Rastafari in different ways. Like this on Sunday, I just made one statement. I understand.
Well, which means that let the land be returned with its ganja.
Yes, with its ganja. Because you see now that we're talking about medical marijuana and everything. Once it becomes legal, it's a question of where are we going to plant it?
Okay, we'll get to that.
Yes.
It's back to school tomorrow. We know that some of Rastafari kids are having challenges at schools.
Yes.
Just give us a brief outline of what sort of reception are you receiving there?
Well, we know that it is our annual ritual. We've been doing that for the past 22 years. This will be the 23rd year. Mm-hmm. That we know that we are going to, for this month and next month, we will be battling with schools about our kids going there because of their dreadlocks. They must cut off their dreadlocks and so forth. So, but mainly, it's always about the dreadlocks. And then in 2015, around February, on the 8th of February, I think, we engaged the Department of Basic Education in Pretoria. And then the department, they sat down with us, some officials of the department, they sat down with us. They told us that, well, the department per se does not have a policy against Rastafarian learners to study, but it is prerogative of the SGBs and the principals. So they then say they will organize a meeting between the national school governing bodies and the National Principals Association, because it is tedious to go to all these schools. Last year it was Makado, this high school, private high school. We have Chifiwa there, a youth, a very brilliant youth with his locks. We had 3 incidents in the Western Capes alone last year. So these are the things. Now you address this school, the other one they rectify, the next one start there, the next one start. So we needed the department to give out whether it is a command to the rest of their structures and their SGBs and their everything that please, this is unconstitutional to deny a child education on the basis of their faith, religion, or consciousness.
Let's perhaps talk to the Department of Education here. Is it the policy of the Department of Education to, well, harass the Rastafarians?
Definitely not. In fact, the Department of Basic Education, as correctly cited in terms of the South African Schools Act, has actually empowered communities to be in charge of the governance of schools through the democratically elected school governing bodies. Now, through this dispensation, it is expected that governing bodies should regulate what happens inside their schools in pursuance of preserving and protecting the culture of teaching and learning. They should be able to come up with policies that are in compliance with the Constitution, that are non-discriminatory, policies that are in the interest of teaching and learning.
Now, in this case, in that Rabdab, you have Rastafarian community saying children are being discriminated against, which is against the Constitution. What is the department doing to ensure that these kids are able to learn without hindrance?
Well, the communities and the learners of the schools, including people who belong to various religious denominations and practices, have an opportunity to participate in the process of developing the code of conduct for the learners. If there are specific circumstances that warrant a learner to be given the opportunity to observe a particular religious practice, the learner does have the opportunity to make representation to the governing body in terms of that policy. And the governing body is obliged to consider if there are special circumstances that may warrant that the learner be granted exemption from observing a particular rule or regulation. And based on that representation, then the school can take the appropriate decision. But whatever decision that they take should not be discriminatory in any way.
Okay. Cynthia, you are in Durban. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hi, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, I'm actually referring to what's happening here. Nobody should say any discrimination. You can go whatever hairstyle you like, because, you know, that's how God made us. Secondly, schools are nothing but money-making, and as far as I'm concerned, even the uniforms, I'm very upset. They just need a white shirt and grey pants. Too much money, and we haven't got this money. Books, everything.
Okay,
then
Cynthia.
They want to make a governing body to, like, tell us how to live our life when we're just the same as them. We're all parents. So what I'm saying is they need to cut costs at these schools because they're making a lot of extra money.
Okay, Cynthia, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let me just allow you to chip in.
What basically the department is doing, so is all departments, because you see the CRL Rise Report Commission the CRL Commission made a report called The Challenges Faced by the Rastafari Community in South Africa. It came out in 2012. It implicates also the Department of Education among 10 government departments that are implicated. What they do is they shifted their responsibility to the school governing board that is composed of community individuals who are not so privy with the constitution. They left us to community attitude, which community is largely, they say South Africa, we are 80% Christian. So in the mercy of the Christian attitude, values and everything. So people come up with their value system and say, because in their religion they don't allow long hair, we will not allow kids to have long hair. In their religion they don't allow this thing, we will not allow that. So they shifted the problem to people with lesser understanding of the constitution. So it is, we can go back with other challenges that we have.
All right. Let's go to Hamans Kral. Is it Elias?
Yes, it's Elias. How are you, Paul?
I'm well. Thanks for the call. I'm
all right. Thank you. You know, that's why we're having a problem today.
That's why?
We're having a problem today because of the Department of Education is not decisive. This needs a policy. I belong to the organization called the Forum for Service Delivery. Yeah. That's why we are calling for an in-biz on education, Department of Basic Education. Okay. We need this kind of things to be governed by policies, not just to be left on the hands of the governing bodies. This is uncalled for. This is very much uncalled for.
Okay. Well, it's uncalled for, but I'll give you an opportunity to respond only after the break. We're taking a quick break. When we return, we'll continue this discussion, and you can call us and air your views 089 110 4210 089 110 4210. This is question time.
As Africa becomes the new business frontier, bursting with opportunity and hope, with its rich natural resources and continental diversity, 11 million managers require development of executive management and business skills to unlock Africa's potential. Mancosa graduates have been driving business, entrepreneurship and innovation in Africa and the world. Mancosa. Dream it. We'll take you there.
Welcome back. You're still watching Question Time. You can call us and air your views. The numbers to dial is 089 110 4210 089 110 4210. My guest today, Rastau Tau, is the chairman of the Rastafarian United Front, and Enoch Raptap is the acting chief director of education resource development at the Department of Basic Education. And let's talk to, is it David?
Yes, how are you?
I'm well. Thanks for the call, David.
Thanks. But let's get to the bottom of this matter.
Yes.
To me, it sounds like the way Department of Education acted on this matter.
Yes.
It seems like, as at the head of the department, they are trying not to take responsibility on whatever is going on under the department.
Mm-hmm.
It's saying the governing body and community staff, they are given powers to deal on those matters. To me, it seems like they are trying to avoid the responsibilities.
Okay, so, David, thank you very much for that call. Let's go to the department. That wrapped up. You are running away from responsibility. Is that why you're giving the powers to the SGBs?
Not at all, sir. As a country, we are in a democratic dispensation. And we subscribe to the principle of ensuring that all institutions of government at all levels are run in a democratic manner. And part of that democratization involves the involvement of relevant stakeholders in the governance and management of various institutions. As a department, we are responsible for over 25,000 schools, which are located in the different communities that has got different values and ethos. And a school that is in a particular community must be able to reflect the ethos of the community in which the school resides. And therefore, it is only necessary that whatever policies that are made must involve the communities that are in the school, so that the practices of the school must be in sync with the general beliefs of the communities where the school is located. Otherwise, you will have a school that is an island that is not servicing the needs of that particular community.
Now,
and
what happens in this case, then, what happens in this case where whatever that SGB or that community that you're referring to decides upon is in conflict with the constitution of the country? Do you have to wait for the Rastafari to come and sue government, take you to the constitutional court?
No. Obviously, these governing bodies operate within a legal framework,
which they are not abiding by.
Yes, if there's evidence that a particular governing body does not abide by the framework or is acting unconstitutionally, then we are able to intervene as a department and interact with that particular governing body to ensure that they act within the prescripts of the law.
All right, let's go to Jabu in Bloemfontein. Jabu, welcome.
How are you, Mpo?
I'm well, thanks for the call. Is it Tabo or Jabu?
Tabo.
Oh, Tabo. I'm sorry about that.
Mpo, I agree. I do agree with the previous caller that who said that the department is running away from responsibility. Do you still remember when the girls were fighting about their hairs, what?
Yes. Yep.
That in Gauteng.
Yes.
Where they were discriminated upon.
Yes. Yes.
The department came in. They didn't even talk about the policies. They just came in and said that this is unconstitutional. Why now should the Rastafarians go and say that they must check the policy, the governing body must decide what. It is not right. If the department could get in that time when girls were discriminated with the extension and everything, why can't the department come in now and say, let the Rastas leave their dreadlocks and go to school?
Thank you very much. I'll come to you, Ras, just now. The Rastafari community are saying it's better for us to actually open our own schools. Do you approve of such?
Well, I think in terms of the Constitution, we do have Catholic schools, we do have different types of schools. So if there are such schools, if they are created in terms of the law and they are able to comply with the relevant policies, then the department cannot deny the Rastafarians from instituting their own institutions for as long as they are operated within the prescripts of the law.
Now, Raustav, there's not going to be smoking at school, eh?
No, well, you see, that's the whole problem, because not every Rasta smoke, and not everyone who smoke ganja is a Rastafarian. 90% of the society smoke ganja. 90% of the people who smoke ganja are not Rasta.
Yes.
That's one part. And of course, we don't give our kids ganja. And one of the problems we are having with schools, January, is not about ganja, that we want our kids to smoke ganja or they are caught smoking ganja. Now here it is a problem of this democracy that comes with bureaucracy and with bureaucratic red tapes and policy and all these things. They are talking as if we are a majoritarian democracy. We're not a majoritarian democracy. We are a constitutional democracy whose constitutional prescript is to defend and protect minorities like ourselves. All these things they're talking about, they overshadow us. If we go into an SGB, we're going to find 2 families of Rasta or 1. Like in my case, my kid is the only Rasta in the school he's going to right now in Seshego. So now, you see, it's not about ganja. We don't want about ganja here. 99.9% of Rastafari is values, is ethics, is morals, is good conduct. You know those things. One love, peace and love. Okay. So we don't have school that is going to teach that. Actually, the school says we have them now. They are not an extension of our home Rastafari culture. Even as we are still fighting to take our kids to those schools, they are not extension of our own home values.
Okay, Ras in Cape Town, welcome.
Yes, my brother.
Hey, Aya man.
Yeah, I have to greet you all in the name of His Imperial Majesty.
Yeah, cool running.
I would like to greet my Chairman Ras Tau, Eagle of the South.
Yes, my brother.
Yeah, give thanks for the work, man. Yeah, I want just to say to the Minister of Education that if he's not agreeing with the comment that said they shift the responsibility to the SGBs. At least they must done their works, that they must start to workshop all the SGBs, because most of the SGBs, they still don't understand that the country is already changed into another direction. So they still want to rule the schools with the old law of the apartheid, you know.
Yeah.
So if they can done their work and educate the SGBs about the constitution of the country, because he seems like he's not agreeing when he said they shift their responsibility from the SGBs.
Give thanks,
Yes.
Ras. Give thanks. Ras Tau.
Yes, sir.
Is it your feeling also that the department is shifting the goalposts?
Yes, it is our feeling. Like I tell you that we do this for the past 22 years. Why did we go to the Department of Basic Education? We wanted them to at least command these people from the top. Because like you said, they're having 25,000 schools.
Yes.
We don't have resources to run around those 25,000 schools to take our kids. Not every issue of our kids is reported. Some they just stay. There's a family in Mpumalanga, in Sandra. The mother who's a national chair of our women's league in the RUF. She's not taking her kids to the school. This is the second year. You know, she's not taking them at all. She's now thinking of home-based education until we build a school. So that is why we want to build a school, because some they rather not even take their children to school.
Okay. Peter, you're in Port Elizabeth, quickly.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, Ngombani. Okay, Mr. Mpo.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Tau.
Yes, sir.
Now I'm sitting watching the TV. I'm very confused with Mr. Tau.
Okay.
In the last 5 years, Western Cape, Rastafarian especially, they didn't want their children to attend our normal schools because it's Eurocentric. And they are taught Satanism, all that stuff that are against neo and capital doings, which is taught at our schools. Now, and I want to ask Rasta, is other Rastas endorse his invitation to attend ANC gatherings? Because politics are neoliberal and are Eurocentric, are against the values of Blackanism.
Okay, Peter, thank you very much. Russ, quickly.
He's talking about the school. There's other part I didn't hear him properly. But in any case, you see, there are Rastas. We taking the kids to school because we don't have a school, number one. We are the poorest of the poor minority. We are a minority which is majority of us are unemployed and unemployable. So therefore we try to use the current schools until we have our own schools. Just like Rastas, the main principle of Rasta is Rasta must be self-reliant, must be self-employed and all that. But Rasta end up being employed because it is difficult even to begin something. You'll hear a man going to work and say, I'm going to slavery, conscious of the fact that he's going to slave himself off, you see. So we are going there because we don't have school, but we have our own school, we'll send our kids to our school.
Now, very, very quickly, as we close, the legalization for medicinal purposes, it's a welcome move, I guess, on your side?
It is not a welcome move. We have been saying that for a long time before it became fashionable that ganja is a medicine. Peter Tosh said it heals glaucoma, pneumocolosis, and all these things. We're the first one to say that the medical bill does not say anything as to the Rastafari community. Is it going to relieve us? Is it going to make our persecution better? But we know it's a benefit of the pharmaceuticals and the prescribed doctors. So it's another political game.
Okay. Unfortunately, we've run out of time, Ras. And that wrapped up. Thank you very much for the time. That was question time for today. A big thank you to my guests and to you for watching the show. From me and the entire crew, have yourself a wonderful time. I've a hot.